Hello, everyone. In case anyone wondered, I'm dressed up today like someone that's going to talk to you about annual giving. I'm sorry to disappoint anyone. I was hoping I'd have a better costume. But in terms of annual giving, I thought I'd share a story from my childhood and then try to bring that to today and why I think annual giving is so important in terms of the role it plays in the church. When I was a child, there were two hymnals that sat underneath our pew every week. And on the cover of them said one thing. And I'll get to the other in a moment. But the first one said, "He who sings prays twice." Now, I'm a numbers guy. That sounded really good. So when I was a kid, I always just jumped in and sang. Thought that was going to get double credit for that. I'll get back to the other one in a moment because I think that relates to more what we're here to talk about today in terms of annual giving. My family and I care deeply about Christ Church. Kendall and the boys and I moved here 9 years ago. Our two sons attended nursery school here. Our other one didn't have the opportunity, but he was just confirmed this past April. And things like the blessing of the animals, seeing all the kids in the Halloween costumes, the Christmas pageant, has been really special. And as a family for us, as much as there are challenges in everyday life and getting people to church, it's very special in the unique situation we have here. We're able to do those things and make them family friendly. And that's certainly different than my experiences as a child, and it's done a lot for us to sort of keep here and come as much as we can. And I know in today's environment that's always a challenge for families, but it's important. In terms of what I'm here to talk about today, as you know, we are launching a capital campaign. Kate's sermon last week, the event 2 Fridays ago, addressed that. You're going to be hearing a lot about that. But what I want to talk about today is the annual campaign, which we're doing this year in conjunction with the capital campaign. And the whole reason I'm emphasizing that is that the annual campaign should be the priority in terms of how you think about your giving for this year. The annual campaign funds the operations of this church, the lifeblood of this church in terms of what we need to operate. And operations is just sort of a fancy word for, in my mind, people. It's what's allowed us to retain great people like Kate, Mary, and Chris, to add great people like Tyler and Janine over the last year, and to do everything we do with the choir in terms of the children and the adults. And that's really special. And I think sometimes that gets lost when you think about giving. You think if it's going to head to some grand headquarters somewhere and someone's going to be managing it. That's not the way it works here. It's all about our contributions and the people that serve us and serve this community. And that's very important, at least to me, and I hope it's important to you. So 3 things in terms of the annual campaign that I want you to take away. 1, as I mentioned before, the annual giving is the priority. As you're thinking about your ability to give this year to the capital campaign and the annual campaign, of course we hope you'll find it in your heart to give to both, but the annual campaign should be the priority. If you gave last year, please consider giving the same amount this year. And if you've taken a couple years off or are new to giving, I would encourage you to think about contributing. At the end of the day, as I said, operations really are the people that drive this place. And being on the vestry over the last year, I've really seen how much they do for this church, and it's really great. And that brings me back to the other hymnal and what was on the cover. There were 3 things on the cover of that hymnal. It said, "Give your talents, give your time, and give your resources." Money. And what I can say is that talents are given. People that sing in the choir, people that manage the finances of the church, and importantly, those people that bring chainsaws to the Christmas tree sale every year. In terms of the time, it's our teenagers that spend time focused on the Sunday school, Camp Blue Skies, and the Youth Grant Making Board. And then resources. It's one of the 3. It's probably as important because it enables a lot of what we do, and it's very important. And as a kid, that made sense to me, what I stared at every Sunday. And like a lot of things that are true and right, it makes sense to me today. And I hope you consider that as you think about your pledge this year. I thank you for your time and those that have supported to date, and we look forward to a very successful annual campaign. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.